before my art used to look basic, used to look bland, used to look a little boring. But then once I perfected this technique, once I mastered this technique, my art became better. It became a little bit more detailed. So here's how I learned this technique. It was about, let's say, a year ago, okay? And at this point, I was getting the hang of art. I was able to draw objects. I was getting better and better and better. Slowly but surely, my art became more refined, more cleaner, more just better in general. But then I noticed there was something wrong. Sure, my art was getting better. I'm able to draw better now. I'm able to draw more clearly. I'm able to draw bigger objects. But I noticed my colors, they looked flat. They looked a little too boring. I looked at all the other arts, right? And I would see people with like more interesting colors, with more palettes that feel, with more colors that feel more impactful per se. So when I learned that, I was thinking I want to be just like these people. I want to learn how to make my colors look better, because right now they looked a little too boring. But I wanted to become better and I was hungry for more. I wanted my art to look more refined. So what I did was I searched for this technique, okay? I went into YouTube, I went to Reddit, I went to like so many different places. At first, I had difficulty grasping the concept. I watched a couple of tutorials, and slowly but surely I was getting the hang of it. At first it was a little bit difficult for me to grasp, but eventually I was like in my bedroom, I was like sweating, because the power was off, but I was relentless. I wanted to master this technique, so I kept going and going and going, and finally, after time and effort, after some toil, after sweat, finally got this technique. And once I did it, wow, my art became so much better, so much cleaner. I finally improved yet again. And how? This was through a method called hue shifting. So hue shifting is basically where, so you know how in shading we have a light tone, which is this one. We have the mid tone, and then we have the dark tone. That's how it is. But what people don't know is that when you change the tones, you should also change the hue. If you don't know what a hue is, a hue is basically like just a color. So for example, green, that's a hue. Blue, that's a hue. Purple, pink, whatever it is. It's basically defines the color. So people do like this. This is how people hue shift. This is how people usually pick their colors in pixel art. So let's say we have a red here. Okay. This is our basic red. Now what people would do is like this. They would increase the lightness. Okay. And there we go. We have our light tone. Then what they will do is they decrease and make a darker tone somewhere like this, and boom, that's how people usually make their color palettes. But this is not the case in pixel art. In pixel art, if you want to make your art look better, you must also be able to do this. So our mid tone is going to be the same. So now I'm going to copy the lighter tone. Then I'm also going to shift the hue. So how you shift is basically, if you want to go lighter, you'll go towards yellow, closer towards yellow. And if you want to go darker, you go closer towards purple or blue. So since my color is over here, and since I want to make it lighter, I'm going to go closer to yellow, which means I'm going to go up. The rate at which you hue shift, or in this case, the rate at which you go closer to yellow, is entirely up to you. Now I'm going to copy the darker tone, and I'm going to move closer towards purple or blue, which means I'm going to go here. Okay, over here. And so now that we got our colors, let's see how they would look in a shape. Now that we have everything, let's see the difference between not hue shifting and hue shifting. So first we're going to just take the base color. Okay, put the lighter color on top over here, the dark color. Okay, now let's see with hue shifting. And there we go. That is hue shifting. And as you can see, the one with hue shifting looks different than the one without hue shifting. And you can say it looks better. So basically that's how you do hue shifting in pixel art. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Ethan. I'm a pixel artist who started his pixel art journey a year ago. I'm here to share my experiences and lessons to those who are into pixel art just like me. I hope you have a great day, brother, and I'll see you next video. Peace.